Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm your Stanford alumni interviewer. It's so nice to meet you. I was Stanford 2018. I studied public policy and management science and engineering. How this interview is going to work, we have about an hour. I'll start by just telling you all about me and why I loved Stanford. And then I obviously want to hear more about you and why you're applying. And I definitely want to leave time for some questions that you have at the end. Oh, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to be taking notes. It's not because of anything weird, it's just because I want to make sure I remember all the great things that I have to say about you at the end of this. Awesome, let's get started. So tell me about yourself. Well, I have a 4.6 GPA and a 2350 on the SAT. I am the president of the Interact Club, the editor-in-chief of the yearbook. I'm also on student council. Oh, and I also have a varsity letter in tennis. So I'm originally from Indonesia, and my family immigrated to the United States, and I've grown up in San Diego ever since I was 4 years old. In school, I am most involved on the yearbook staff where I'm editor-in-chief. That's where I learned that I really love to tell stories and the creativity that comes with design. I also am a state representative for a pageant program called America's Junior Miss, and through that I get to advocate for women in STEM. I'm not really sure what I want to do with my life yet, but I know that I love creativity, I love writing, and I love just the innovation of running a business. So one day I might want to be an entrepreneur. Why Stanford? Well, Stanford's the top ranked school in the nation and also has the best computer science program. I might want to be an entrepreneur someday, and I love that it's right by Silicon Valley. In addition to just being obviously one of the top schools in the nation, everyone I've met from Stanford, whether that's alumni or people from my own school who have gotten in the past, they've been some of the most humble, kind people while also being brilliant. They're also people who will speak up for things that they believe in, even if it's not the most popular opinion. I really love the entrepreneurial spirit that I've seen with the campus, and I'd love to be a part of a student body that values all those qualities as well. And so you do so many things on campus. What do you do just for fun? I just like to hang out with my friends and go to the movies, go shopping sometimes. Oh, I just love to surf. I am a San Diegan through and through, and I'm always thankful to have grown up in such a beautiful place with nature. What's an academic subject that you're most excited about? I really like math. It's always been my favorite subject, and I've always gotten the highest scores in those classes. English. As an immigrant, I did not speak English when I started kindergarten. So the way I learned was just through watching a ton of movies and reading books and reading stories. And I've just always been fascinated by how you can connect with others through language. What's your proudest achievement? My biggest achievement was being selected as editor-in-chief of my high school's yearbook staff. It was a super selective position, and I was able to get it as just a freshman. At the end of my freshman year, my yearbook teacher tapped me on the shoulder and told me that she thought I might be a good candidate to be the editor-in-chief. I was scared out of my mind. It was a newer class, and we really had no reputation or no process in place. I didn't feel like I was ready for a challenge like that, but I went for it anyway because I had someone who believed in me, and I wanted to push myself. Since then, the yearbook has won tons of awards all across the county and city, and I'm so thankful that I took that jump. It taught me to not be afraid of things that I'm not sure about, as long as I have people who will support me throughout it. Tell me about a time you failed. So I got a few bad grades my junior year. It was my first time taking AP classes, and I just really struggled. But then this year I was able to get my grades back up again. Oh gosh, when I was surfing last week, I just wiped out by a giant wave that I did not see coming. And then there was this row of elementary school students who were watching, and they were all pointing and laughing, and I just wanted to disappear. What would your friends or peers say about you? They would say that I'm compassionate, determined, outgoing, happy, funny. I think the first thing they describe me as is compassionate. I grew up in a family where I was taught that we all look out for each other. And that's something I've carried with me throughout my entire life. I'll always be the first to drop everything for a friend, even though I have my own goals and my commitments that I want to achieve. Tell me about a time where you were a leader. I was student body president, and during my term, I implemented a Go Green movement all across school because I wanted my peers to care more about the environment. My junior year of high school, I heard about a scholarship program called America's Junior Miss. Now, pageants had a pretty bad rap at my high school. People thought that they were objectifying and also felt that they were superficial. But I went into the first rehearsal anyway because I was curious about the scholarship part of the component, and I felt like the girls who I'd met from the program were extremely well spoken and were making a ton of difference in their communities. After I took the leap, I was lucky enough to win at the state level and get to represent the state of California at the national finals. Since then, my school has had the most participants at the San Diego County level out of any high school in the city. I'm thankful to have stood up for an organization that I believe in and hope that it can inspire more girls at my high school to take the plunge. So where do you see yourself 10 years from now? I want to be a doctor. My parents are both doctors and I really look up to them, and I've always wanted to be a doctor too. To be really honest, I'm not sure. I know that I love writing, I love designing and photographing, and I love jobs that are people-facing. But in terms of what job that looks like, I don't even know what some jobs are out there. And I hope to learn a lot of that and explore myself while in college, and Stanford seems like the ideal environment to do that. So what questions do you have for me? Yeah, definitely. What's your favorite memory from Stanford? Oh yes, I saw you were a part of the symphony orchestra, and I'm a classically trained pianist, and I was really curious about how you navigated the arts resources at Stanford.